The great council hall floated in space around a bright star. Ships from many worlds docked at the huge station every day. Admiral Jake Morrison walked through the long halls where aliens from across the galaxy came to talk and make deals. He had been Earth's voice here for 10 years now. Jake wore his blue uniform with pride. The silver stars on his shoulders caught the light as he moved. Other humans worked with him, but today felt different. The air seemed heavy with worry. Even the alien workers moved slower than usual. Captain Lisa Barnes sent a report from far away. Her ship, the UES Horizon, was exploring new worlds near the edge of known space. She found 3 new planets with life in just 2 months. Her crew was excited about the discovery. But her messages also carried warnings. "Admiral, we keep seeing Zarkan ships in areas they should not be," Lisa had said in her last message. "They run away when they see us, but they are watching. Something big is coming." The Zarkans looked like giant lizards that walked on 2 legs. Their skin was green and covered in hard scales. They had yellow eyes that never seemed to blink. Their leader, Ambassador Vex, always spoke with a voice like grinding stone. The Zarkans controlled 40 star systems and had strong military ships. Lieutenant Commander Ryan Collins worked in the intelligence office. His job was to listen and watch what the other aliens were doing. Ryan was good at his work. He could speak 7 alien languages and understood their cultures. What he found in the last few weeks made him lose sleep. "Sir, they are talking to each other in secret," Ryan told Jake during their morning meeting. "The Zarkans, the Hyveth, and the Luminare are having meetings that we cannot attend. They send coded messages between their home worlds every day." The Hyveth were like giant insects. They had 6 arms and moved very fast. Their bodies were covered in black shells that looked like armor. They made clicking sounds when they talked. The Hyveth Queen Speaker controlled their entire race. When she gave orders, millions of Hyveth soldiers followed without question. The Luminari were the strangest of all. They were made of pure energy that glowed like stars. They could change their shape and move through solid walls. When they were angry, they burned brighter. When they were calm, they glowed soft blue. The Luminari had technology that no one else understood. Jake walked into the main council room. The huge dome showed the stars outside. Hundreds of seats filled the space in a great circle. Representatives from 60 different worlds sat in their special chairs. Each alien race had furniture made just for their bodies. Ambassador Vex stood up when Jake entered. The big Zarkan's claws scraped against his metal chair. His voice filled the room like thunder. "Human Morrison, we must speak about your people's actions," Vex said. His yellow eyes stared at Jake. "Earth ships travel to new worlds every week. You build stations and claim planets faster than any other race. This breaks our agreements." The Hyveth Queen Speaker started clicking rapidly. Her translator machine made her words sound like metal hitting metal. "Humans take resources that should belong to all races. Your expansion threatens the balance of power in this galaxy." The Luminary representative pulsed red with anger. The energy being's voice sounded like wind through caves. "Earth's technology grows too fast. You learn and build new things that upset the natural order." Jake stood calmly in the center of the room. He had heard these complaints before. Other human diplomats would get angry or worried, but Jake just smiled. His blue eyes looked at each alien leader with respect. "Friends, humans only want to explore and learn," Jake said in a clear voice. "We share our discoveries with everyone. When we find new metals or energy sources, we trade them fairly. Our expansion helps all races in the galaxy." But Jake knew things that the aliens did not. Back on Earth, Colonel Sandra Hayes worked in a secret underground base. Her team built weapons and ships that could destroy entire fleets. The aliens had never seen these weapons because humans chose not to show them. Sandra often met with Jake through secure video calls. Her brown hair was always pulled back tight, and her green eyes were always serious. She commanded Project Guardian, the most secret program in human space. Jake, the new plasma cannons are ready, Sandra had told him last week. Each one can cut through 10 alien ships at once. The fleet admirals are asking when they can install them on our warships. Not yet, Jake had replied. Let them think we are weak. Let them believe our exploration ships have no weapons. The longer they underestimate us, the safer Earth becomes. The truth was that every human ship carried hidden weapons. Cargo vessels had missile launchers built into their hulls. Science ships could deploy energy shields stronger than any alien technology. Even small scout ships carried enough firepower to destroy space stations. Dr. Carolyn Mitchell ran the research programs that created these secret weapons. Her team worked in labs deep under the Pacific Ocean. They studied captured alien technology and made it better. The plasma rifles that human soldiers carried were based on Zarkon designs, but they fired faster and hit harder than the originals. The aliens thought humans were peaceful, because that is what humans wanted them to think. Earth's leaders decided long ago that other races should not know about human military power. It was better to appear weak and friendly while staying ready for war. In the council room, the debate continued for 3 hours. Alien leaders demanded that humans slow their expansion. They wanted Earth to share all technology with other races. Some aliens suggested putting limits on where human ships could travel. Jake listened to every complaint with patience. He answered each question with calm logic. He offered to sign new trade agreements and create joint exploration missions. But inside, he knew that these talks would not work. Ryan Collins watched from the observation deck above the main floor. He could see alien representatives whispering to each other during breaks. Their body language told him everything he needed to know. War was coming soon. After the meeting ended, Jake walked back to his office. His assistant, Lieutenant Amy Rodriguez, waited with urgent messages from Earth. She had dark hair and worried eyes. Sir, President Helen Garcia wants to speak with you right away, Amy said. She says it is about Code Yellow. Code Yellow meant that Earth's military was preparing for possible attack. Jake sat down at his desk and activated the secure communication system. The president's face appeared on his screen. Behind her, he could see the flags of United Earth hanging on the wall. Jake, our sensors show alien fleets moving toward human space, President Garcia said. General Marcus Webb thinks they will attack within days, not weeks. Are you ready to come home? Jake looked out his window at the alien ships docked around the station. Some of those crews were probably spies gathering information about human defenses. They thought they were watching weak prey. They had no idea that humans were the most dangerous predators in the galaxy. I will stay here until the last moment, Jake told the president. When they make their move, I want to see their faces. I want to remember why we have to do what comes next. 3 days later, the first reports of attacks reached the station. Jake Morrison smiled for the first time in weeks. The attack came at dawn on Colony World, New Denver. Commander Alex Turner was drinking his morning coffee when the alarm started screaming. His ship, the UES Discovery, was docked at the orbital station for routine supplies. The coffee mug fell from his hands and shattered on the metal floor. All hands to battle stations, came the voice over the speakers, but Alex knew they had no weapons to fight with. The Discovery was a science ship. At least, that is what everyone believed. Navigator Amy Rodriguez ran onto the bridge. Her face was pale with fear. Behind her came Engineer Pete Johnson, still wearing his work clothes covered in grease and oil. Through the main window, they could see the enemy ships coming out of hyperspace. Zarkon warships appeared first. 20 massive vessels with green hulls and weapon ports glowing red. Their ships looked like giant metal dragons with wings spread wide. Each one was twice the size of any human vessel in the area. "Alex, what do we do?" Amy asked. Her voice shook as she spoke. "We have no guns, no shields, no way to fight them." The Hyveth came next. Their ships moved like swarms of angry insects. Hundreds of small black fighters poured from 3 large carrier vessels. The fighters buzzed around the human colony ships, firing plasma bolts that lit up space like deadly fireworks. Alex watched the enemy attack unfold. Other human ships tried to run, but the aliens were ready for that. Energy nets from luminary vessels caught the fleeing craft. The energy beings had ships that looked like floating crystals filled with bright light. "Sir, they are calling for our surrender," Pete said from his station. All human ships must power down and prepare to be boarded. But Alex Turner was not afraid. He walked to his captain's chair and sat down slowly. A strange smile spread across his face. Amy and Pete stared at him like he had lost his mind. "Alex, did you hear me?" Amy said. "They want us to surrender." "I heard you," Alex replied. His voice was calm and steady. "Pete, please enter authorization code, Guardian 77 Alpha." Pete's eyes went wide. Every human ship captain knew that code, but they hoped never to use it. His fingers moved over the control panel. Hidden systems all through the Discovery came online. Screens that had been dark for years suddenly glowed with new information. The walls of the bridge slid open. Weapon controls rose from the floor. Shield generators hummed to life in the ship's hull. The Discovery transformed from a peaceful science vessel into a war machine in less than 60 seconds. "Amy, take us away from this station," Alex ordered. "Pete, charge the plasma cannons." "Sir, we have plasma cannons?" Pete asked. "We have a lot more than that," Alex said. "Now you will see what a human ship can really do." On Earth, President Helen Garcia stood in the war room deep under the Capitol building. Giant screens showed the attacks happening across human space. 12 colonies were under assault. Enemy ships outnumbered human vessels 3-1. General Marcus Webb pointed at the tactical displays. His gray hair was cut short in military style. His uniform had medals from 30 years of service. But today was the first time he would command humans in real war. "They hit our mining stations first," Marcus said. "Then they attacked the colonies. They think they caught us sleeping." Admiral Kate Foster stood next to him. She commanded the human space fleet. Her ships were scattered across 50 star systems, but that was part of the plan. Every human captain had sealed orders that they would only open during wartime. "How many ships do we have in position?" President Garcia asked. "All of them," Kate replied with a smile. "Every cargo ship, every explorer, every science vessel. The aliens think they are fighting our civilian fleet. They have no idea what is coming." Director of Intelligence Sam Carter watched the alien communications. His computers could break any code the enemy used. What he found made him laugh out loud. "They are celebrating already," Sam told the room. "The Zarkin High Command thinks the war will be over in 3 days. The Hyveth Queen is planning victory parades. The Luminari are dividing up human territory between themselves. But the aliens did not know about Dr. Carolyn Mitchell. She worked in the deepest part of the secret base under the Pacific Ocean. For 20 years, she had been building weapons that no alien race could imagine. Caroline's team had taken alien technology and made it better. They studied every enemy ship that humans had captured or found wrecked in space. They learned how alien weapons worked, then built versions that were 10 times more powerful. The conversion is complete, Carolyn reported to the president. Every human ship in space now has full military capability. The aliens are about to learn why humans are the most dangerous species in this galaxy. Back on the Discovery, Alex Turner watched the enemy fleet approach his ship. The Zarkan commander was sending threats over the radio. The big lizard thought he was talking to helpless humans who would beg for mercy. "Human vessel, you will surrender now or be destroyed," the Zarkan said. His voice sounded like rocks grinding together. "Your pathetic race cannot stand against the power of our alliance." Alex opened a communication channel to reply. His face appeared on screens throughout the enemy fleet. The aliens expected to see fear in his eyes. Instead, they saw the same calm smile that had puzzled them for years. "This is Commander Alex Turner of the United Earthship Discovery," he said. "You have made a serious mistake. You chose war with humanity. Humans did not want this fight, but we will finish it." The Zarkan commander laughed. The sound was like an angry animal growling. "You have one small ship with no weapons. We have an entire fleet. What can you possibly do against us?" Alex's smile grew wider. "Let me show you." The Discovery fired its first shot. A beam of pure energy cut through space faster than light. It hit the lead Zarkan ship and cut it completely in half. The massive warship exploded in a ball of fire that lit up the darkness. The aliens stopped laughing, their communications filled with panic and confusion. How could one human science ship destroy their most powerful warship with a single shot? "Impossible," the Zarkan commander said. "Our sensors show no weapons on your vessel." "Your sensors are not good enough," Alex replied. "You have been looking at human ships for 50 years and never saw what we really are. We let you think we were weak because we hoped for peace. You chose war instead." More human ships joined the battle. Cargo vessels revealed missile launchers hidden in their hulls. Research ships deployed energy shields that nothing could penetrate. Even small scout craft began destroying enemy fighters with weapons that fired faster than alien eyes could follow. The tide of battle changed in minutes. Ships that the aliens thought were helpless prey became deadly predators. Human vessels moved through space with speed and grace that alien technology could not match. Admiral Jake Morrison watched the battle reports from his office on the diplomatic station. The alien representatives who had threatened humanity just days before now sat in shocked silence. Their mighty alliance was being torn apart by the very humans they had. Underestimated. Jake opened a communication to Earth. President Garcia appeared. On his screen, along with the military commanders in the war room. "The first phase is complete," Jake reported. "They see our defensive capabilities now. Should we proceed to phase 2? President Garcia nodded. "Show them everything, Jake. Show them what happens when someone breaks the peace that humanity worked so hard to build." The real war was just beginning. Captain Danny Brooks piloted his ship straight into the burning atmosphere of the gas giant, Titan 7. The massive planet was covered in poisonous clouds that would melt any alien vessel in seconds. But the UE's retribution flew through the deadly gases like they were harmless air. "Sir, the Zarkan fleet is following us," reported his weapons officer, Lieutenant Sarah Kim. She wore the new power armor that made human soldiers nearly impossible to kill. The silver suit moved with her body like a second skin. "Let them come," Danny said with a grin. "They want to see what human ships can really do." Behind them, 12 Zarkan warships entered the gas giant's atmosphere. Their green hulls began to glow red from the heat. Warning alarms screamed inside their vessels as the poisonous gases ate through their armor plating. The lead Zarkan ship lasted 30 seconds before it exploded. The others tried to retreat, but the deadly atmosphere had already damaged their engines. One by one, the mighty warships fell into the planet's crushing depths. Danny guided his ship out of the gas giant unharmed. The Retribution's hull showed no damage at all. Human technology could survive in places that would destroy any other race's vessels. "Target destroyed," Sarah reported. "All enemy ships eliminated." "Good," Annie replied. Now let's go help Captain Morris at the asteroid field. 3,000 miles away, Captain Janet Morris was fighting a different kind of battle. Her ship, the U-East Thunder, was hidden inside a large asteroid that spun through space. 50 Hyveth. Fighters buzzed around the rock, trying to find her. The insect ships fired their plasma weapons at the asteroid, but they could not see the Thunder hiding inside. Janet waited until the perfect moment, then fired her missiles through holes in the rock. The Hyveth fighters had no time to react. Human missiles moved faster than their sensors could track. In 5 seconds, 20 enemy ships turned into burning wreckage. The remaining fighters tried to escape, but more human ships appeared from other asteroids. This is Thunder to all units, Janet said over the radio. The asteroid field is secure. Enemy force eliminated. On the other side of the battle zone, Lieutenant Sarah Kim led her squad of power armor soldiers onto a luminary energy ship. The aliens thought their vessel was safe because it was made of pure energy that normal weapons could not touch, but human power armor was different. Sarah and her team could walk through energy walls like they were made of paper. Their suits protected them from heat, cold, radiation, and even the vacuum of space. Move in, Sarah ordered her squad. Remember, these energy beings can change shape, but they cannot hide from our sensors. The Luminari tried to defend their ship, but they had never fought enemies who could survive inside pure energy. Human soldiers moved through the glowing corridors, their armor keeping them safe from the deadly environment. Contact front, called Sergeant Mike Davis. His rifle fired special bullets designed to disrupt energy beings. When the rounds hit, a Luminari, the aliens' energy forms scattered like broken glass. The battle for the energy ship lasted only minutes. The Luminari discovered that humans could fight in any environment, no matter how hostile or strange. Back on Earth, Dr. Nathan. Price sat in his laboratory, watching the alien news broadcasts. His job was psychological warfare, making the enemy afraid to fight. The aliens were starting to panic as reports came back from the battle zones. Nathan had spent years studying alien minds. He knew exactly what would scare them most. Instead of threatening the aliens with death, he showed them videos of human capabilities they had never imagined. Look at this broadcast from the Zarkon home world, Nathan told his assistant, Dr. Jenny Walsh. On the screen, Zarkon news reporters were showing footage of human ships diving into stars and coming out unharmed. They cannot believe what they are seeing, Jenny said. Their best scientists say it should be impossible. Nathan smiled and started working on his next broadcast. He would show the aliens human soldiers fighting underwater, in toxic atmospheres, and even in the emptiness of space without spacesuits. Let them try to understand how that was possible. The Alien Alliance was learning that humans could do things that broke every rule of science they knew. Human ships flew through black holes and emerged safely on the other side. Human soldiers fought on planets where the gravity would crush any other living being. Commander Roy Campbell demonstrated this when he took his ship through the center of a neutron star. The massive gravity should have turned his vessel into a tiny ball of compressed metal. Instead, the U's valor came out the other side and destroyed an entire Hyveth fleet that was hiding behind the star. How do they do it? Asked the Hyveth Queen speaker during an emergency meeting of the Alien Alliance. Her clicking voice showed fear for the first time in centuries. Ambassador Vex of the Zarkons had no answer. His yellow eyes stared at the battle. Reports in disbelief. Our weapons cannot hurt them. Our ships cannot go where they go. Our soldiers cannot fight where they fight. The Luminari representative pulsed with confused energy patterns. They use technology we do not understand. They fight in ways that should kill them, but they survive everything. What the aliens did not know was that humans had been preparing for this war for decades. Every human colony had secret weapon factories hidden underground. Every human ship carried enough firepower to destroy entire fleets. Every human soldier was trained to fight in conditions that would kill any other species. Colonel Sandra Hayes watched the battle progress from her command center on Earth. Her screens showed human forces winning fights across the galaxy. Aliens had expected an easy victory over peaceful humans. Instead, they found themselves fighting the most dangerous species they had ever encountered. "Status report," Sandra asked her aide, Major Frank Wilson. "All fronts are secure," Frank replied. "The enemy has lost 60% of their fleet. Their ground forces are retreating from human colonies. Intelligence reports that their leaders are talking about surrender." Sandra nodded but did not smile. "It is not over yet. They still have their home fleets. They might try one last desperate attack." She was right. The alien alliance was planning exactly that. Their military leaders decided to gather every remaining ship for a final assault on Earth itself. If they could capture the human home world, they might still win the war. But Admiral Kate Foster was ready for them. Her fleet had been waiting in the outer solar system for weeks. When the alien armada arrived, they would find Earth defended by weapons they could not imagine. The aliens thought they were bringing overwhelming force to destroy humanity. They had no idea they were flying into the most dangerous trap ever. Set in the history of galactic warfare, the final battle was about to begin, and the humans were still smiling. The alien armada appeared at the edge of Earth's solar system like a dark cloud blocking out the stars. 300 ships from the Zarkan, Hyveth, and Luminary fleets moved together toward the blue planet the humans called home. This was their last chance to win the war they had started. Admiral Kate Foster stood on the bridge of her flagship, the UES Liberty. Through the wide windows, she could see Earth spinning slowly in the distance. Her home world looked peaceful and quiet, but Kate knew it was the most heavily defended planet in the galaxy. "Enemy fleet approaching Jupiter," reported Captain Bill Harrison from his position at the sensor station. "Count is 297 vessels. All weapon systems are active." Kate nodded calmly. She had been waiting for this moment since the war began. Around her, the bridge crew worked with quiet efficiency. Nobody seemed worried or afraid. They all wore the same confident expression that humans had shown throughout the entire conflict. "Signal all fleet commanders," Kate ordered. "Execute Plan Omega." Hidden throughout the solar system, human ships began to move. They emerged from behind moons, rose from planetary rings, and decloaked from empty space. The aliens had expected to find Earth defended by a small home fleet. Instead, they faced the largest military force ever assembled in human space. 500 human warships took positions around the advancing alien armada. But these were not the exploration vessels and cargo ships that had surprised the aliens. Before, these were pure military craft, built for one purpose only, to protect Earth from any threat. Ambassador Vex commanded the Zarkon portion of the fleet from his massive flagship. The green-scaled alien stared at his tactical displays in growing horror. Human ships surrounded his forces on all sides. There was no escape route left open. "How many ships do they have?" Vex asked his weapons officer. "Our sensors count 512 human vessels," came the reply. "But sir, there is something wrong with these readings. Each ship shows energy signatures far beyond anything we have seen before." The Hyveth Queen speaker clicked nervously in her command chamber. Her insect armies had conquered dozens of worlds, but she had never faced an enemy like this. The human ships moved with perfect coordination, like they shared a single mind. "Attack formation Beta," she ordered her fleet commanders. "All fighters launch immediately. We must break through their lines before they can use their full power." But the human defenders were ready. Captain Lucy Chun of the UES Defender watched the enemy fighters approach her position near Mars. Her ship alone carried more firepower than the entire Hyveth attack wing. Engaging enemy fighters, Lucy reported over the fleet communication system. Her weapons fired beams of pure energy that moved faster than light itself. 50 Hyveth fighters vanished in an instant, turned into glowing dust by weapons beyond alien understanding that the luminary energy beings tried a different approach. They attempted to pass through the human defensive line by turning their ships into pure light. But human technology had evolved far beyond what the aliens knew. Energy shields around each human vessel caught the luminary ships and held them, trapped like insects in glowing webs. Admiral Jake Morrison arrived from the diplomatic station just as the battle reached its peak. His transport ship landed in the command center deep under the Rocky Mountains. President Helen Garcia met him there, along with the military leaders who had planned this defense. "Status report," Jake said as he entered the war room. "General Marcus." Webb pointed at the main tactical display. "The enemy fleet is completely surrounded. They cannot advance, and they cannot retreat. Admiral Foster has them exactly where we want them." But Jake was not thinking about military victory. He was already planning what would come after the fighting ended. What about their home worlds? Are they still willing to negotiate? Dr. Caroline Mitchell looked up from her computer screens. "Intelligence shows that civilian leaders on all 3 alien worlds are calling for peace talks. Their military commanders pushed for this attack against the wishes of their own governments." President Garcia nodded thoughtfully. "Good. When this battle ends, we will need to help them rebuild. War destroys everything it touches, but peace can make things better than they were before." In space above Earth, the final moments of the Galactic War played out. The alien armada fought with desperate courage, but they could not overcome human technology and tactics. One by one, their ships were disabled by weapons that could not destroy, but simply made enemy vessels powerless to continue fighting. "Admiral." Kate Foster opened a communication channel to the entire alien fleet. Her face appeared on screens throughout the enemy armada. The aliens expected to see victory celebrations or demands for surrender. Instead, they saw the same calm expression that humans had worn throughout the entire conflict. "Attention, alien fleet commanders," Kate said. "This is Admiral Foster of the United Earth Defense Force. Your attack has failed. Your fleets are defeated, but humans do not wish to destroy you. Power down your weapons and prepare to receive medical assistance. For you're wounded." Ambassador Vex could not believe what he was hearing. "You offer medical aid to enemies who came to destroy your world?" "Former enemies," Kate corrected him. "The war is over. Now we must work together to build a better peace than the one you chose to break." 6 months later, Admiral Jake Morrison walked through the same council hall where the conflict had begun. But everything was different now. The great circular chamber had been rebuilt and expanded. New seats accommodated representatives from 12 additional species that humans had discovered during their defensive operations. The Zarkan delegate was a young female named Ambassador Kira. She had replaced Vex, who had been removed from power by his own people for starting the disastrous war. Kira spoke with respect when she addressed the human representatives. "The Zarkan Republic wishes to thank Earth for the medical supplies and reconstruction assistance you have provided," she said. "Our worlds are stronger now than they were before the conflict began." The new Hyveth speaker was called Worker Prime. Zax, the insect being, had been chosen by democratic vote rather than royal appointment. His clicking voice carried gratitude instead of the old arrogance. "Humans have taught us new ways to organize our society," Zax said. "Our people are happier and more productive since we adopted your suggestions for individual choice and creative thinking. The luminary representative pulsed with soft blue light that meant friendship and respect. Energy beings and matter beings can work together. Humans showed us this truth through actions, not just words. Commander Rachel Green, recently promoted to Admiral, now led the joint exploration fleets. Her ships carried crews from all the former enemy races. Together, they were mapping new regions of the galaxy and making contact with species that had never known war. Engineer Tony Martinez supervised the reconstruction projects on alien worlds. Human technology helped build cities that were more beautiful and efficient than anything the aliens had possessed before the war. Former enemies worked side by side with human engineers, learning new skills and sharing their own knowledge. Captain Maria Santos commanded the UES Harmony, the first ship designed and built by a truly integrated crew. Humans, Sarkans, Hyveth, and Luminari worked together to create something greater than any single species could achieve alone. President Garcia gave her final speech to the new Galactic Assembly on a warm spring day. Representatives from 97 different worlds listened as she explained the human vision for the future. "We never wanted to rule the galaxy," President Garcia said. "We wanted to explore it, learn from it, and help it grow. When others chose war, we defended ourselves, but our goal was never conquest. Our goal was always the same, to build a galaxy where all thinking beings can live in peace and work toward common dreams." The applause that followed came from beings with claws, wings, tentacles, and pure energy forms. They had learned that the species they had underestimated possessed not just superior technology, but something far more valuable, the wisdom to use power for protection rather than domination. The smile that had marked humanity's response to war had never been about victory. It had been about hope, hope that even when peace was broken, it could always be rebuilt stronger than before.